We are, alhamdulillah, following the way of Ahlus Sunnah wal Jamaat, walking behind the friends of Allah who are the grandchildren of Holy Prophet ﷺ. And so our hearts are also remembering on Ashura the shahadat of Hazrat Hussein ibn Ali radiallahu ta'ala an. Ghaus al-Azam is saying, when we talk about the special qualities of Ashura, we must mention that Hazrat Hussein was martyred on that day. Hazrat Salama said, once Holy Prophet ﷺ was in my apartment. When Hazrat Hussein went in to see him, I was watching them from the door, and there was Hazrat Hussein sitting on the chest of Holy Prophet ﷺ playing a game. Holy Prophet ﷺ was holding a piece of earth in his hand, and tears were coming out of his eyes. As soon as Hazrat Hussein left, I went inside and asked about what I had seen from the Holy Prophet. And he ﷺ said, while I was so happy with Hazrat Hussein sitting on my chest playing his game, Jibreel ﷺ came to me and handed me the piece of earth where he will be shaheed. That's why I started to cry. And Ghaus al-Azam is also mentioning that Imam Jafar as-Sadiq said, 70,000 angels came down to the maqam of Hazrat Hussein on the day he was made shaheed, and they will continue to cry there until the day of judgment. And Sultan al-Awliya Sheikh Maulana Muhammad Nazim Adil al-Hakani kadasallahu sirruh is saying, people must cry on him. They must cry for Sayyidina Hussein radiallahu ta'ala an. He is going to make intercession for everyone who is crying for him also. This is not to say that we make like Shias. No, definitely not. But we are living in a time where mankind has no more heart. They don't know how to cry. They don't know what to cry for, and the hearts became as stones. As Sahib al-Сэйф, Sheiha Abdul Kerima, al-Kibrisi Rabbani kadasallahu sirruh is saying, day and night making problems to your own selves and even forget how to cry. You don't know how to cry. How are you going to understand? This world today, this Ahir of Ahir Zaman world is a world of dead and stone hearts, especially in the Muslim world. The young, the innocent, the women, the babies have been killed, starved, bombed for 20 months, and nobody did anything to help. Stone hearts. We came to the time that the ones who are crying in the streets for the dead Muslim children are from other religions, from Christians and from Jews and others. Don't forget, Ahir Zaman is not about name or title. It is believer and unbeliever. It is about haqq and batil, just like Karbala. One of the men who was in Hazrat Hussein's camp until the end was Joan, the ghulam of Hazrat Abu Zar al-Ghifari. Who was Joan? Joan was from an African Nubian Christian family, an old man. But even when Hazrat Hussein gave him permission to leave, he stayed. According to one report, Hazrat Hussein said to him, you came this far with us, but you can go now. And Joan said, would it be right that I benefited from your sohbat and your generosity, and I would now abandon you in your time of hardship? And he stayed and was martyred. His name is in the list of the martyrs of Karbala. May Allah raise his station. What is that? Honor. This today is a world of disgracefulness and dishonor. But the history of Karbala is a history of what honor looks like. Holy Prophet ﷺ said, the believer has a sense of honor, and Allah has an even greater sense of honor. And Hazrat Umar radiallahu ta'ala an said, do not let yourselves be impressed by the roar of a man. Rather, if he fulfills his amanat and restrains himself from harming the honor of people, he will truly be a man. In this world today, people break their promises for a cheap price. They sell themselves out, sell their beloveds out, sell their faith out for cheap. The words are so much, but the essence is not there. For those who want to learn what it is to have honor and to keep the promise, we should look at the history of Hazrat Hussein and his family in Karbala. Hazrat Hussein knew what he was doing and he knew where he was going. When the governor of Medina came to try to pressure him to give bayat to Yazid, Hazrat Hussein went in the night time to the Rawza Sharif. He prayed there all night, and when he fell asleep, he saw his grandfather, Nabiullah ﷺ, in his dream. And Holy Prophet ﷺ said, "O my beloved Hussein, I am seeing when you will be very soon covered with blood, slain in the land of Karbala, thirsty without water. This will be done to you by people who claim they are from my ummat." And Hazrat Hussein said, "O grandfather, I'm asking you, let me enter inside your tomb. I don't want to go back to dunya." And Holy Prophet ﷺ said, "O my beloved Hussein, there are ranks which you will not reach without shahadat." And Hazrat Hussein knew where he was going, and he came to fulfill his promise. On the way to Iraq, he said, "I cannot wait to join my ancestors. I am like Yaqub going to meet Yusuf. I can see my body being ripped apart by the wolves of the desert, which will fill their empty stomachs with my flesh. The pleasure of Allah is our pleasure. We are patient with His test, and He gives us the reward of the patient. The Ali Muhammad ﷺ will never part from him. They will join him on the Day of Judgment, and he will be very happy in that reunion." The road to Karbala was not one day. It was measured in weeks and months and years. After leaving Medina, Hazrat Hussein spent his days in Mecca for some time. Our Sheikh is always teaching us to understand the holy days and holy nights and how they tie together. Hazrat Hussein lived it. He spent the end of Rajab, Sha'ban, Ramazan, Shawwal, and Zulqaidah in the Haram Sharif in Mecca. He made Umrah in Zulhijjah and left before he could make Hajj because the enemies were trying to trap him there and he did not want bloodshed near the Kaaba. He spent his last days observing the holy months, getting ready to fulfill the promise. Some people saw him on the road to Iraq and begged him not to continue. Hazrat Hussein said, "I saw Rasulullah ﷺ in my sleep, and he ordered me what to do, and I am doing it." When they asked what the order was, Hazrat Hussein said, "I have not told anyone, and I will not tell anyone until I meet my Lord, subhanahu wa ta'ala."